In front of everyone, he spat. His mother, his father, his two sisters sitting stiff on the couch as if watching a scene they'd rather mute. He grabbed my suitcase, half-zipped, clothes spilling like organs, and hurled it down the stairs. "Get out, you were always a burden." The words lodged deeper than the suitcase crashing against the hardwood. I didn't cry then, not in front of them. My throat ached, but I swallowed it. I picked up my bag from the bottom step, zipped it closed with shaking fingers, and walked out. His family didn't move. No one said a word. That silence cut worse than his spit. I left with my dignity balanced on a blade. We weren't always war. Once, he looked at me like I was the secret he never thought he'd earn. We met in the most ordinary place, a bookstore. He asked if I liked the novel in my hand. I answered without looking up. He laughed, said he'd already read it, and bought me coffee to argue about the ending. That small moment spiraled into years. He made me believe in permanence. He made me think we was something no storm could move. He even held my hand the day we signed the deed to what would be our house. At least, that's what I thought. I carried the weight of the paperwork, the signatures, the fine print. He carried the illusion. But illusions fray. I noticed it in the way his phone tilted away when I entered the room. The laughter that wasn't for me anymore. The scent of perfume, expensive, foreign, on his shirt collar when he swore he was late at work. The final cut came not with lipstick on his shirt, but with a look. His eyes on another woman across a bar, pupils dilated, lips curved in that hungry smile I once thought belonged only to me. I didn't confront him that night. I sipped my drink, I let him lie. But inside, something calcified. I didn't leave in fury. I left in silence. That silence frightened him more than shouting would have. He mistook it for weakness. He thought throwing me down the stairs of his family home was the end of me. He didn't know it was the beginning of him unraveling. While he gloated in his petty victory, I stayed still. I didn't chase, didn't beg. Instead, I called a lawyer. I opened files, I studied numbers. Because here's what he never paid attention to: the house wasn't his. When we bought it, his credit was ruined from years of reckless spending. The mortgage was under my name, the deed signed by my hand alone. He signed nothing. But he was too proud, too arrogant to notice. To him, ownership was presence. He lived there, therefore it was his. He never asked questions, and I never corrected him. 3 months passed. I rebuilt myself brick by brick, alone. Then came the knock. I opened the door to find his mother. Her face, once smug with disapproval, was pale. Her hands trembled. "Please," she said, "he's broke. He can't keep up with the bills. They're threatening foreclosure." I looked at her the way she once looked at me. Cold, superior, convinced I was disposable. "I don't think you understand," I told her. "That house isn't his." Her lips parted. Confusion rippled across her features. I let the silence stretch until her fear bloomed. Then I delivered the blade. I just sold it. The timing was perfect. I signed the sale the week before, cashing in on the market peak. The new owners were moving in tomorrow. Every utility bill, every debt tied to that house, gone from my hands, but tethered still to his fantasy of control. He had nowhere to run, nowhere to pretend. His family would see the truth. The man who strutted as provider was a parasite feeding on illusions I built. The confrontation wasn't cinematic. There were no screams, no grand gestures. Only his voice breaking over the phone the next day. "You can't do this." I already did. "You ruined me." "No," I whispered. "You ruined yourself. I just stopped carrying you." He begged then. The same mouth that once spat venom now tasted of desperation. But I didn't savor it. I simply listened, then ended the call. I don't replay the night he threw my suitcase anymore. I replay the moment his mother's knees buckled on my porch when she realized the truth. The house, the facade, the lie, they were never his. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, precise and final. And when it was over, when his voice no longer echoed in my head, I realized something. I never wanted revenge to destroy him. I wanted revenge to remind me that I was never the burden. He was. And now, without me, he finally has to carry himself.